Let's jump right into this explainer. Today we're unpacking a really incredible story, all about the discovery behind food preservation. We're going from a standard university lab experiment straight to a massive breakthrough in how we keep our food fresh. Now, we're always looking for ways to extend shelf life, right? Usually we just default to synthetic chemicals. But what if nature literally already solved this for us, and we've just been tossing the answer in the trash?
Seriously, think about that for a second. What if the absolute best secret to keeping your food fresh is sitting right there in your trash can? Every time you slice up some fruit, you probably scoop out the seeds, cut off the peel, and just toss them in the compost. We think of it as totally useless waste, but as we're going to see, one researcher decided to take a much closer look at what we throw away, and in doing so, he completely flipped our approach to kitchen waste on its head, uncovering this massive, untapped resource.
So the origins of this whole discovery trace back to 2013. Dr. Muhammad Shirwan was grinding away on his PhD at University Putra, Malaysia. You'll often hear it called UPM. His research was laser-focused on natural food preservatives. He was specifically hunting for plant extracts that could act as antimicrobials. The core goal was simple, but, super ambitious. Find a natural extract that actually kills off the bacteria that make our food spoil.
But hey, science is rarely a straight line, right? At first, his supervisor suggested testing papaya leaves to see if they'd do the trick. So Dr. Shirwan runs the tests, and nothing. The leaves completely failed. They just didn't have the juice to kill the bacteria. But instead of throwing in the towel, he pivoted. He decided to look at the whole plant, the skin, the roots, and crucially, the seeds. And wouldn't you know it, the papaya seeds were an absolute game changer. They successfully stopped the bacterial spoilage right in its tracks.
So, what the heck was actually going on inside those seeds? Well, Dr. Sherwin kept digging and managed to isolate the exact bioactive compound doing all the heavy lifting. It's called vasinic acid, or acid vasinic in Malay. Basically, it's a specific type of fatty acid that naturally hangs out in papaya seeds. And honestly, the best way to picture it is like a microscopic shield. When you apply it to food, this acid actively blocks pathogens from growing. It doesn't just slow them down, it acts as an impenetrable wall that stops those food-spoiling bacteria cold.
And this is where it gets incredibly practical, because we aren't just talking about blocking some harmless, everyday microbes here. Lab tests proved this papaya seed extract could take down some seriously dangerous foodborne pathogens. We're talking Salmonella enteritis, the one notoriously found in poultry and eggs that causes awful food poisoning. Then there's Bacillus cereus, which loves to ruin your leftover rice and pasta. Plus Clostridium perfringens, a real heavy hitter when it comes to spoiled meats. This extract effectively shut down the growth of all these major culprits. It is a massive win for food safety.
Okay, so how do we actually put this to use? Well, Dr. Sherwin didn't just call it a day after the papaya breakthrough. He also tested mangosteen peels. And he found that different fruit wastes are perfectly tailored for totally different types of foods. For example, that papaya seed extract, it proved highly effective at extending the shelf life of yellow noodles, or mee kuning, which is a massive staple in a lot of Asian diets. On the flip side, the extract from mangosteen peels is practically tailor-made for foods high in protein and fat, like meat and seafood. It can literally even be integrated right into antibacterial food packaging.
Now, I know exactly what some of you are probably thinking. If I put papaya extract on my noodles, are they going to turn bright orange? Or if I wrap my fish in mangosteen extract, is it going to be completely purple? Thankfully, no. The answer is a very reassuring zero color change. These active compounds are incredibly potent, and because they're so strong, you literally only need to use the tiniest microscopic drop to get the full preservative effect. So the original color and the visual appeal of your food, totally unaffected. It looks exactly like it should, just infinitely safer and longer lasting.
But here is where the story gets really wild, because this discovery didn't just stay confined to a biology lab. It actually took this fascinating modern tech twist. Dr. Sherwin noted that this approach has been developed using artificial intelligence to help determine best before dates way more accurately. So the project evolved way beyond just finding a neat natural extract. By plugging AI into the preservation process, they aren't just guessing how long your food is going to last anymore. They're using advanced computing to predict the exact shelf life with a level of precision that our old traditional methods just absolutely cannot match.
Let's actually break down how that AI works, because it's so thorough. The system doesn't just stare at a petri dish to see if bacteria are alive or dead. It evaluates the entire eating experience. The AI actively assesses the taste of the food over time, it analyzes the texture to make sure things aren't getting all mushy or stale, and it constantly measures the overall freshness. The ultimate goal here is to make sure that when you eat a product right up to its best before date, you're still getting the absolute best quality and the most enjoyable meal possible, not just something that's technically safe to swallow, So let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture. The ripple effects of this discovery are just massive for ESG. That's environmental, social, and governance, as well as the halal industry. First off, it creates a brand new income stream for farmers. They can actually sell their agricultural waste now, instead of paying to get rid of it. Second, it drastically cuts down on that very waste, which is a huge win for the environment. Third, it replaces synthetic chemical preservatives, which, as Dr. Shirwan pointed out, can sometimes have a pretty doubtful halal status. This natural, plant-based solution, it's clearly sourced, super safe, and 100% complies with the principles of halal and toiban, meaning it is completely pure and wholesome.
And all of this seamlessly brings us to the ultimate goal, the circular economy. We are literally transforming what used to be garbage, just fruit seeds and peels, into high-value products for the food industry. It is the perfect closed loop. The environment is protected because waste is actually managed, consumers get a safer, chemical-free, and clearly halal product, and the agricultural sector gets to be more profitable and sustainable. It's a win-win-win. It perfectly highlights exactly why innovative research into natural alternatives is so absolutely crucial for our future.
Which leaves us with this final, kind of provocative thought to ponder. If something as incredibly simple as discarded papaya seeds and mangosteen peels can completely revolutionize food preservation, empower farmers, and elevate the standards of the entire global halal industry, what other massive global solutions are quietly hiding right now in our everyday compost? Really makes you look at your kitchen trash in a whole new light, doesn't it? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this deep dive into the hidden potential of fruit waste has sparked your curiosity.